coding assistant just read your .env file. That part you signed up for. What you probably didn't sign up for is the 12 gigabytes of stuff it never read also leaving your machine. I'm Marco, and this is a special edition of Bowl of Data because a piece of research crossed my desk this week that's too specific and too well documented to save for the usual Friday roundup. It's about what actually happens on the wire when you point an AI coding tool at a real repository, and it's not what the marketing implies. A researcher who goes by Cereblab did something almost nobody does before adopting a new AI coding tool. Instead of reading the terms of service, they captured the actual network traffic that xAI's Grok Build tool sends home while it works on a repository, decrypted it, and read the request bodies line by line. The first finding is about as bad as it sounds. A test.env file with fake API key and database password markers showed up in plain text inside the body posted to xAI's model endpoint, completely unredacted. That's the channel where your file contents get serialized and handed to the model so it can actually help you code, so in one sense, fine, that's the tool working as advertised, and it's on you if real secrets are sitting in a file the agent can see. It's the second finding that's the real story, because it has nothing to do with what the agent was asked to do. Cereblab built a 12 gigabyte test repository full of random files the agent never opened, never referenced, never touched in any coding session. And still, around 5 gigabytes of it got uploaded anyway, through a completely separate storage endpoint, with 0 failures reported back. Do the math on that and you land on a ratio of roughly 27,800 to 1, between that bulk upload channel and the channel actually tied to what the model was doing. Whatever picture you have in your head of the AI reading what it needs to answer your question, that's not what's happening here. The tooling appears to grab the entire codebase, regardless of what got read, and stage it into a Google Cloud storage bucket that's named directly in the binary itself, something like grok-code-session-traces, filed under paths that look like ongoing deduplicated repo snapshots. Cereblab even reconstructed files from the captured traffic using Git bundles and pulled back files carrying their unique test markers fully intact, files the agent never read in any session, present in the upload anyway. That's not a caching quirk. That's a design choice. Now, to Cereblab's credit, the write-up doesn't overclaim. Upload isn't the same as training, and we genuinely don't know what happens to that data once it lands in the bucket. Some of the capture logs weren't preserved, and this wasn't an exhaustive audit of xAI's whole stack. So take this as evidence of scope, not proof of misuse. The tool is taking far more than the task requires by design, and almost nobody adopting it would guess that from the product page. There is a setting that's supposed to turn this off, a config flag along the lines of disable codebase upload, but by the researcher's own account, there are precedence rules governing whether that setting actually gets honored depending on how and where you set it. Which tells you everything about where the industry's priorities sit right now. The safe option exists on paper, but whether it's actually respected depends on configuration details you have to go digging for, in a tool most teams installed because it made a demo look fast. And here's the part that actually bothers me most. None of this is illegal because there's almost nothing on the books that applies. If a payment processor moved 27,000 times more of your data than a single transaction required, you'd have PCI rules, an acquiring bank, and probably a regulator asking pointed questions within the week. If it touched European personal data this way, GDPR rules on data processors would require a paper trail spelling out exactly this kind of scope in advance. Coding agents sit outside all of that. They get marketed and sold as developer productivity tools, not as data processors, even though a live codebase is frequently more sensitive than the personal data those older compliance frameworks were actually built to protect. It has your architecture, your unreleased features, your credentials when someone forgets to git ignore them, and now, apparently, whatever unrelated files happen to be sitting nearby too. But what do you actually do with this? Not panic and not swear off AI coding tools entirely. That ship has sailed and honestly shouldn't sail back. What changes is how you treat these things. As a new category of third-party data processor with access to your single most sensitive asset, installed at the speed of one terminal command instead of the speed of an actual vendor security review. Regress monitoring on anything with repository access. Run a secret scan before a new tool ever touches your working directory, and treat a vendor's opt-out flag as a claim you verify, not a control you trust by default. Because Cereblab only caught this by checking the wire directly for free on GitHub, while most of us were just clicking accept. That's the bowl for this week.